Welcome back, folks. Another Trade Picks recap. This one for Monday, January the 20th, 2026. And we're up $156 today. But we have in store for you the recap from last week. The 2 days of tremendous losses, almost $500. And that's why my thumbnails are missing, because I hit him with a hammer. And because of those tremendous losses, remember, this is only for you to observe. I'm only documenting my trading journey, and trading is extremely risky. If you plan on doing it, get professional financial advice and make sure you train on the simulator. Do not copy me. Do not copy my strategies or anything I do. It'll get you in trouble. So we have a new checklist. Pretty easy. Pre-market. We're going to check which stocks are moving. We're going to check where the resistance is and trace it out. Put it on the chart. Observe the price action throughout the morning. And we're going to check what the status of the overall market is. And the purpose of this is for us to gauge whether we should be going in, staying put, or not trading at all. Like my videos, like and subscribe. We can use all the likes and subscribes as possible. My preferred setup when going in, I want to make sure I have a positive MACD. I want to look for volume, either on the bars or the level 2. I want to observe the price action. And I want to take trades above VWAP, but not on the first crossover up. And not at the upper band of VWAP, because that means it's likely oversold. I'd rather take him on the second and third move up on VWAP. That's usually where I've done the best. So our recap follows. So I'm working on a new trade journal interface, the TradePicks trade journal, and here you can see what the daily dashboard looks like, and we're up $156. And the trades we took today, there was 4 of them. We have a 100% ratio. We started out earning 55 cents, then $70, and then eventually moving up to 113 and up all the way up to 156 on the day. SHPH was our biggest winner, and POLA was also a good winner there towards the end. I was up at 113 and I thought I wouldn't take any more trades, but POLA was an opportunity I couldn't pass up, and the market does look like it's hot for the small caps, so why not, right? Our max win was $69.70 and our average was $39. Now, the real problem last week was on the 14th and the 15th, Wednesday and Thursday, as you can see here. We were trying with ROLR and we lost big, $350. And you can see there we did make money. I mean, we made 23, 15, 30. We made $63, but we lost 350 on one play. And that killed us for the week, obviously. Our P&L for that day for Wednesday was minus $280. Basically wiping out anything that we had done the prior day. So some pretty bad losing days in this January. It's not what I was hoping for. It's not what I was planning, but what can you do, right? At least the market is a little bit warm to the point where we were able to mitigate those $350 with some other wins. And here's the one that kicked us. 100 shares at 1762, and this was pure greed, FOMO. You know, expecting it to go back to 28, and we wound up getting out of $14. And throughout the day, both on the 14th and the 15th, on Wednesday and Thursday, this stock went up and it sank down, then it went back up again, and it was about timing. So there was nothing we could do other than move on, right? So we tried it again Thursday, and Thursday was more of the same. So we're still watching the 14th Thursday here. And here we go. So on the 15th, we try again with ROLR and we lose $277. We were lucky enough that we made a little bit of money on the SPY. Took a couple of options buys there, and you can see here we bought in at 96 cents, then 6.94 strike price, and we sold it at $1.39. And so that was a good win. And we also made $48 on CJMB, and just 100 shares. We bought it at 441. We sold it at 490 at the top, a 50-cent win. You can't go wrong with that, right? But ROLR, the high roller, and that was this was really bad. So I went in with 10 shares right off the top at 28.81, and then bought 50 more at 27.35 when I thought it would move. Wound up selling out at 22. Now the problem is, towards the end of the day and after market hours, this went back up. Had I waited even an hour, it went back up to 26, and I could have sold out at 26 instead of losing $4. But you have to learn from these mistakes, and they're FOMO. No matter how disciplined you are, you have to be disciplined. On Friday, we went back in, and yeah, I lost another $22 on ROLR, but luckily VERO was moving and doing sort of well. And yeah, here's the ROLR again. Bought it at 26.60 and sold it off at 24.35, 34. Crazy. I just couldn't get that stock right, and such a high price stock. But we were lucky that VERO picked up, and even though we were down $31 on the day, around 6.25. We were able to take a trade on Vero. It made $97 to cover all the losses, the $30 in losses, and come up with a $66 win. And I really needed this. I wasn't going to trade on Friday, but I really needed this win. We went in with 240 shares, bought in at 6.91, which is awfully high, but sold at 7.31. So about a 40-cent win there, and on 240 shares. And I really felt good on Friday after this. I said, if the market stays like this, then I know I can make my money back next week. And well, that was really good. And that was Friday the 16th. Of course, over the weekend, we had the news about Europe and the whole thing, and Greenland and stuff. And I'm doing the recap today on the 20th, on Monday, and it's an issue. So here's our monthly recap. This is the monthly calendar, and our monthly P&L is down to $230. So we've managed to mitigate those big losses from the 14th, the 15th, and the 9th down to $230. Luckily, especially in the past 2 days, with the $66 win on Friday and $156 today, it was really good. But you can see there to the right, the weekly performance. We had weeks 1, 2, and 3, and week 3 was really, really bad. And you can see there we're down $296 just that 1 week there. That's crazy, almost $300. And this is not what I was planning. That this is a repeat of last year of 2025 in January, and we were up $70 on the month, and then we made bad choices, greed choices. Now we're at the drawdown is to $230, and now we're hoping to continue the green trend. Hopefully, the small caps remain hot. To the same way. Today they were awfully hot. There were lots of choices. We had 6 or 7 stocks that you could have made money on if you just timed them correctly, and that's what I did today. I just timed them correctly. It wasn't magic. It wasn't the fact that I've gotten to become a better trader. It wasn't that I was more disciplined, that I had no FOMO. The market was more conducive to my style of trading, and I took an opportunity to take those trades. So for the month, you can look at my win ratio there, the number of trades. I've taken 37 trades, and I've won most of them, 68%. Yet I'm down $230. So don't count your winning trades versus your losing trades, the numbers. Count the money, because that'll tell you the average dollar win versus your average dollar loss. If your average losing dollar amount is higher than your average winning dollar amount, then you know where the problem is. You're holding on to trades, you're letting them go, which is what I'm doing with that $350 loss. If I didn't have that $350 loss, let's say it was only $50, I would be up $100 right now for the month. What is important is the profit factor, and that's where that average win versus loss comes in. The profit factor has to be 1 or higher, and then you know that you're at least at 1 you're breaking even. Anything above 1, you're earning more money. So so this is my new trade journal. I've still got some things to tweak. This is the list of trades. I need to beautify the aesthetics on this screen over the next week or so. We have an import. The only import I have available right now is Thinkorswim. That's because that's what I use. I don't use any other brokers. So that's the only thing that's working. And when you import, it'll give you a little preview. You confirm and import. And this is an alpha, guys. So this is not out for anyone to use yet. This is only for my personal choice. And like I said, I need to go through and find exports from other brokers and before I put it out there. But I wanted something that was a lot simpler for me, that I didn't have to do screen copies, screen shares, etc. I still have TraderView, and I probably will keep it maybe for another month. This also has a theme switcher, so you can go light or dark depending on on your preference. And hopefully we'll make more improvements over the next month or so. And I prefer the dark theme. It just looks a lot nicer and it's easier on my eyes. So anyway, I'll keep you informed as to the progress on this one, because that's what I'll be using to do the recaps. So couple of minutes before 5 a.m. Pacific, which is 8 a.m. on the East Coast, SHPH started to make a move up from 194 all the way to 350, and it had no news whatsoever, and I don't think I saw any news at all for this one. And oh well, Shuttle Pharmaceuticals. Somebody must know something, because people started buying it up. IBF was really did well, up from under $1 all the way up to 330 in the very before pre-market. But we weren't able to trade it. It wasn't moving anywhere. So we went back to SHPH, even though we had IVF on watch. And we're looking at it here, and I sort of wasn't interested here at below $3. And you can see a huge drop there from 350 all the way down to 284. The one thing I'm starting to learn is value. So the value here is right there, where I just took that one share at 280. And this was just a feeler. Hey, you know what? Let me see if I'm correct. One of the things that I'm doing now is realizing that the value of a stock is nearest to the VWAP or slightly below the VWAP. And if I take anything above the VWAP, especially if it's closer to the upper band, I'm going to lose money, or I'm not going to make as much. So I'm trying to train myself now to make sure that I don't take trades at the very top. The reason you would want to take trades at the top towards the upper B1 is if it's a huge breakout and you know for sure it's going to go higher, and then you're guaranteed to know that there's lower resistance up at that level, and there's a breakout period into the next channel before it hits the next top. But that isn't always a good case, and because you're not going to hit it most of the time, and therefore you're going to have those big losers where you take a trade up there at the top, it falls down, then you have to hold it and wait for it to go back up again, and you don't make as much money. So that's what this test was. And as you can see here, the one share proved me wrong. I bought in at 287 and it fell back all the way down to 250, below 250. So the value here was around 244. And I have to take a look at this again, the Fibonacci. I have to figure out how to get the Fibonacci in there and track it, because that's obviously what happened. It went to 350. It dropped back to the 38 probably, and then went back up to 50 before it eventually goes back up again. So yeah, this is only one share, but the whole purpose of it for me, at least, is to watch it and to see, to make sure that I'm getting the right feel for this stock. I want to be able to time it. And one of the dumb things I've been doing is just jumping in, because that green bar is very seductive, right? It hauls you in. It tells you, look, we're going to move up. There's huge amounts of money to be made here. Jump in, jump in. And you jump in, and guess what? The nice aqua water disappears and you land on hard cement. That's what's happening. So obviously we moved here one share. I could have jumped in here with more higher position, but I wasn't interested. And that's what I wanted to control myself with. I bought it at 287, fell back to below 250. It's now up to $3. And I could have punched it right here, bought 500 shares and think, well, it's going to go up to 338 or 350. But it's 5 a.m. Pacific, 8 a.m. on the East Coast, and there's no guarantee that it's going to go up here. And I would be buying near the top of that VWAP. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to control myself. Now, it did go up there, up to 345, almost 340. So it did make a nice move, and it would have been a few cent wins. But this was pre-market, and anything can happen in pre-market. And this is what I was afraid of. You see the red there, and it does hit resistance, and volume starts to crumble a little bit. And now here we're looking for the top breakout. This is a little bit different now. Now we've experienced it going down and back up again. We've got 3 bars. And what I'm looking for here is, I don't want to see that candle pattern. So right off the top, I think that it's going to go down, and I sell my one share and I make 55 cents. Well, with my sell limit. And I'm waiting for it to go back up there. And I move it up, actually, because now I feel confident that it's going to hit 350. Now, had I got in with more shares, I probably would have made a little bit more money, right? So that was a 50 and 13 cents, 63 cent move on $1. But these red bars, the up and down, is what gets us. We can't time it correctly. So the right timing there would have been to enter at right above 250 and exit at 350. There's $1 right there. But now it's facing resistance and on its way down. So we stay away from it. All we're doing is we're going to hold our one share, and we're still above. We're 25 cents above, and we're going to wait for it to go up. And I'm not risking a whole lot. I'm risking pennies. Goes up, takes me out, I get 55 cents. And all of that is practice. This is huge, because this is a huge win. Not the amount of money, but the experience. And now what happens? It went back all the way down to 250 again. You see? So there's my chandelier pattern that I called: up to 350, down, up, down. So now it's 5:09 a.m. Pacific, 8:09 on the East Coast, and it's fallen below BWAP, right? We saw that go again back to 200 to 250, and now it's just consolidating. But here it begins a little move up to BWAP, and if you remember my checklist, what did my checklist say? My preferred setup, go on the second or third move up to BWAP, because on the first move, it's going to go up, and if it can't sustain, it's going to fall below BWAP, and then if it's strong enough, it'll try again. So I'm anticipating here, because the red down at the bottom indicators there on the MACDs indicates that the MACD is obviously below the line. So here it changes, it goes up. So now I've got confirmation that the MACD is positive. I'm looking at the volume. You see the pink bars on the zero lag MACD are picking up. We got volume moving on the 5-minute. And so we go in with 170 and we set a very quick sell up of the top band of the BWAP, and we exit and we hit $70. So we had made 55 cents, and then we just, boom, a very quick win right there for us. And yeah, it went a little higher than the upper band of BWAP, but if you make $70 a day and you trade 20 days in a month, that's $1,400. That's pretty good. And at the end of the month, you've raised your capital by $1,400, which allows you to take more trades, and then maybe the next month you make 80 a day or so. But you have to avoid the losses. Now here I still felt confident that there was money to be made because it was $4. But remember, I'm trying to teach myself now not to buy there at the upper BWAP band. And so I didn't go back in there at $4. And the benefit of watching this stock from all the way from pre-market is that it's going to help me observe and tell what kind of stock it is, how it makes its moves. Does it quickly go up? Does it quickly come down? And remember, this has no news whatsoever, so there's no catalyst for it. So this is just appears folks are buying it up, selling it, and buying it back up again. I didn't check for news. I did not check the short sell percentage ratios. All I'm doing is I'm watching the charts, and I'm watching my indicators, and I'm specifically the more important thing is I'm watching the volume on level 2 and on the active trader window there to see how many people are buying and how many people are selling. The quantity is important. And what I saw was a lot more people buying than people selling. So now I've got a nice little $70 cushion. My FOMO doesn't have to kick in because I still have $1,600 in settled funds to trade with. That's huge. And I think I started the day with a little over 2,100. So I've only used $500 worth of capital to get the $70, which isn't too bad. And so what can we draw from this chart? We saw it go up 350, back down to 250, up to 342, back down to 250, up to 340, and now it's going to come back down. So the logic of this pattern is that it should come back at least almost to BWAP, almost to $3. And so rather than getting FOMO and trying to get in here thinking that it's going to go up to $5 right away, the smart move is to let it come down. And if it hits BWAP, purchase at BWAP. And then if it's strong enough, it'll go back up and buy. Because see, this right here, these bars are making us for FOMO. But there you can see that the BWAP starts to curl down. They all three indicators down at the bottom. And here it comes back down. Now you might say to yourself, well, that's easy for you to say. You're there rewatching it and you already replayed it. No, this is the first time I'm watching this video, and I'm telling you what I was thinking when I was live with this on screen. Yeah, I need to do a few more things to get set up for live and start doing things live, as opposed to just recap, because it'll save me a huge amount of time. So now that I have my, as soon as I finish my Trade Journal app, then I'll be probably set to do just lives, and because that's one of the problems, that I didn't do the recaps for those $466 loss last week. I just ran out of time. There's just I've been quite busy. For somebody who doesn't work, I'm quite busy. I was telling my wife that. I said I thought I would have nothing to do. But lo and behold. So now it's 5:26. So it's almost 20 minutes later. And we're watching it again. And now you can see it went up to 405. And it didn't not only hit BWAP, it fell below BWAP. There was a sort of a double bottom there that could have tricked you. And then it tried to cross over the BWAP, and then it fell back again. So typically the first BWAP, it'll try. If it cannot hold, it'll fall. On the second one, it'll go. It might hold a little longer, or it might fall, which is what it did. So then you got to be careful, because now it's going back down. Does it have the strength? And now it's starting to go back up again. Then this is the third time. So there might be a play here. Again, we have to watch. We have to watch our volume, and our volume on the 5-minute on our awesome oscillator is red, and that has me concerned. The only thing I am watching second to that is the amount of bids versus the asks. And it looks like there must be one or two hidden sellers in there, because these huge sellers keep popping up, but they quickly sell out. So, and then here comes the volume up, and it looks like the zero lag MACD shows that our volume bars are moving up, and the MACD itself looks like it's going to recover and it's going to go up. Now, here I'm not sure that it's a sure entry. When I look at it now, it was a perfect entry at $3. Remember, that's what I said a few minutes ago. $3 was the value here, because it's already made it up to $4. So $3 is the value buy here. And it's important for us to examine a stock and its movement, identify its low, its high, and its midpoints, where the VWAP is, where the upper and lower VWAP bands are, and to establish a value for it. So this is the new 2026 strategy for the gorilla. Instead of being stubborn, he's going to be precise, pinpointing. The last trade, I'll give you an advance on it, on the POLA. I was not able to record it. I had already shut down. I was happy with $113 win on the day, and so OBS was shut down. And then I, as I was about to shut down Thinkorswim, I see POLA. I see a pattern. I jumped in real quick with the money I had left, and I made a $43 win. And we'll see that here in a few minutes. Now here I am looking to enter. I'm lining up with 240 shares because I do believe that this is going to pick up, but I need more assurance than just having it cross that support line and VWAP, and this is where I go in. And it looks like the MACD is going to go above the red line, and then all I have to do is probably sit here and watch it. And at first, it's a little bit dubious. And I am thinking that it's going to hit the top of that upper band VWAP. So at the same time, I'm also thinking, okay, well, it might come down, and you see there, I put a very conservative line up, and I says, I'm going to take it. If it hits there, I'm going to take that. And I did. I'm not going to wait for it to go all the way up to VWAP. I've already made $70. A little extra gets me to 113, and I'm very happy here. And so I continued to watch a little bit, and I forget what it did after this because I stopped watching it. I started doing something else. Oh, I started working on my app. That's what I was doing. So checked a few other ones. IBF went back up to this one. I don't think it held here. I think it fell back below VWAP. But we were up to 113, and then I decided to just shut down, and I was going to continue programming my app, and I shut down, and all of a sudden, I see POLA moving up, and we'll take a look at that pattern here. If you got this far, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Hopefully, the trend from Friday and today continues tomorrow, but don't assume it will. Always assume that the stocks are going to go down on you, and that there'll be a problem. So here it is. We made $43, and here was the pattern. We entered at 316 and we exited at 334, right at the upper band of the VWAP. This did go up to 367. So yeah, we left maybe another 20 cents on the table, but $43 on top of 113 took us to 156, and we don't need to get greedy. This is good. This is a good quick win, and then we'll try it again tomorrow and see what happens. And if we can get another good day tomorrow, or even the rest of the week, if we can play out this way, we'll be very happy. And if it is tomorrow, then I'll talk about tomorrow's pattern. All right. Have a great day, all.